Good day, my name is Alex from the House of Test Company. Today we're going to talk about a test tool called Katalon. It's a test framework that initially was designed to test web pages, and they enrich this test framework with different features allowing you to test also REST API, for example, and that tool also integrates very interesting features like BDD Cucumber. So we're going to see how easy it is to design some web page tests using that tool. And it's a freeware, so you don't have to pay anything for it. You just have to register on the web page and download the application. With the user created, your account created, you will be able to activate that tool. It's a lightweight environment, so you just need to unzip the file somewhere, and you will be able to start using the tool. They have a very nice website, which is very well organized, with a presentation of course, what the tool is, what it is capable in terms of test management, test execution, reporting, maintenance of the tests. What are the environments which are supported, and also what are the tools which are supported out of the box. Interestingly, Git and Jira for mainly for most of us. You will find also on their webpage a learning center where pretty much you will find answers to all the trivial operations required in order to start using that tool. So it goes from getting started, of course, how to write test cases, how to change scripting, how to change the code actually that is generated by Katalon. And if you're like me, very graphical guy, there are also plenty of videos on how to do stuff. One which was very interesting for me is how to do setup for Android devices. So you can actually test web applications which are running on Android device, but not on a simulator like most of the applications, but on the real devices themselves. The page we're going to test today is the Bauduin page, and we're going to check a couple of things on that page. It's going to be very simple, just to give you an idea about what the tool is capable. We're going to check if, for example, all those buttons here are clickable, and if we can see them on the page. So I fired already the test framework, and I created a new project, find new project. And here on that tool, you will see the different panes available to you. Here it's a predefined set of directories, if you wish, where the code, the page objects, everything is going to be organized. So let's go for it, and we're going to start recording a test, and you will see how does it work. So we're going to click on some objects. The objects are going to be captured. It will generate some code that thereafter we will be able to modularize and change to our taste. So I click here on record a test case. You enter the URL of the application you want to test, and then you click on the browser to start the recording. So let's do this. I'm going to expand a little bit the view so you will have also a better understanding of what's going on, and I'm going to resize that window. Here we go. So here on the recorder on the left side you have the actions that have been already done. So we open the browser and we navigated to the specified URL. Here on this side, what's going to happen is each operation I'm going to do is going to be captured in terms of action, but in terms of objects. What the interesting part of Katalon already is you see when I move my cursor, you see a red box around objects, and means that Katalon has identified those items into the web page as objects. So for example, if I want to make sure that commercial here is clickable and is visible, my personal way of doing it is I'm going to right click on it. So what happened is that I recorded the action, so the action was automatically recorded for me, and it says, well, I found the object, which is called a commercial, and those are the attributes of that object that I saw. What I can do in order to make sure that I will be able in the future to recognize that object, I can select the object itself, like commercial, and then I will say, well, I need to please check that you can find the object. So you see what I've done. I selected the object, I click verify and highlight, and then you will see a blinking box around it say, well, yes, I found it, and you have a message confirming that. So I'll do it again so you can see here. I click and you see commercial was identified. So let's do this for the different objects, like defense. Press escape, space, services, innovation. And you see all the objects are now recorded. So let's assume that I'm satisfied with what I've done, and I press OK. Now what's going to happen is that the web recorder is going to transfer all that recording and the object into the framework. So I press OK. It tells me where do you want to put all those things. So you see it usually use the name of the main page as test object, but you can rearrange that to your taste. And it's going to drop them into the object repository. So let's do it. It asks me which test case I want to create based on that. I'm going to say, well, it's the main page. And here I go. I found all my actions and my objects. So my test case contains the script, and the object repository contains the objects that now I can see. So there are different ways of doing recording and creating test case. The first one is called the manual view, which is here in this tab. But I can switch to a kind of developer view if you wish, and then you will discover that, oh, that's something I know because I'm a Java developer, and actually the code which is generated is Groovy code. So here you see we navigate to the page, and then I said, well, right click on those objects. Actually I don't need that one because I think it was a mistake during the recording, so I will delete it. I delete the actions, and those are the objects that I need to verify that are present. And of course it's not right click that I want to do. I want to make sure that, well, I can see those objects. So how do I change the codes? How do I change the actions on that? Well, quite two ways of doing it. Here I can change the code, or I can use the drop-down list from the manual. So we'll do both. First, on manual, I will say, well, I want to verify that commercial is here. So instead of right click, I click in there, and then the tool is going to offer me different functions which are available. So let's say I want to check that the element is visible. So I verify that the element is visible. And I can change, if I want to change that to another element, I will do this. I can do it on a script level, and we're going to do it for the second object here, which is defense. So I modified on the manual view the action, and you will see that now you see that the code which is generated is different. It's verify element visible on that object. Then I can simply do this and say, well, okay, I want to do that for all the elements. Okay, and then I can go back to my view and say, well, yeah, now you will see, you will be able to verify that those elements are there. Now if I want to say, well, I want to verify that they are clickable, okay, we can do something about it. So I just add another action, by default it gives me accept alert, but no, this is not what I want to do. I want to verify that the object is actually clickable, for example. So say, yeah, verify element clickable. Which element do you want to verify that it's clickable? Again, two ways. We can do it on a script view, or we can do it on a manual view. On the manual view, I just drag and drop the objects. Okay, I want to do it for this element, and I want to do it for another element. So add, verify element clickable, and then I'll do it for defense. Okay, another way of doing it again is go on script. So what are we going to do? We're going to say, well, take those lines, paste them a couple of times, and either or you edit manually the name of the object here, say okay, it's innovation or history, or if you're a little bit more lazy like me, then you go here and then you just drop down the actual objects you want. So we did innovation, commercial, and defense. Innovation, commercial, and defense. Well, we're going to see our history, our service, and space. We don't need that one, so we're going to delete. There we go. So now we would like to run the test, of course, to make sure that it's running. Simply easy. You can go here, and Katalon offers you a way of testing on different environments, different browsers. So you can use Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, etc., etc. And there is also an interesting feature which is Chrome headless and Firefox headless. What this allows you, it allows you to actually run the test without having the UI popping into your face, making you free desktop environment so you can continue doing something else. But for that demonstration, we're just going to say, well, no, I want to run the test on Chrome. There is just one little thing which is not included intuitively into the tool, is the fact that the window needs to be maximized when you start the navigator. And actually, we're going to include that as soon as the browser is open. So I'm just go here and then I type it web UI because that's the name of the class, and then maximize. There we go. Go back to here. So open the browser, maximize the windows, go to the URL and perform the test. So let's see how it runs. So the test has been executed. What I'm going to do here also to make it easier so you don't get too much confused is we're going to close the browser at the end. So you know that this is the window which is used by Katalon, because you see here it says Chrome is controlled by automated software. And let's run that test again. There we go, all your tests pass, and then you got a description of the steps. So extremely easy. So now you just created a quick test which verify that those elements are present and they are clickable. This is one test case. Now maybe you want to run it into a test suite, which is like having more tests together, and it's extremely easy also to do this. You go on test suite, you say, well, okay, it's a new test suite, which is going to call main page, for example, not appropriate name, but for the time it doesn't matter. And we can say, well, what are the test cases available? Well, there is only one, which is main page, so we're going to add that test. Here we go. So right now I just created a test suite, and then I can add different test cases here. How I execute a test suite. So I save it. So you just open your test suite and then you say run. So for example on Chrome headless. Of course we're not going to see something because it's running headless, but you will have here a progress bar telling you that the tests are currently being executed, and you see what's going on actually is going through the different items and it executes. So this is very quick introduction about Katalon. You will find very nice features like automatic screen capture if a test failed. So if a test fail into a suite, into the report that is generated, you will see the steps, and for the step fail you will see a screen cap which is included automatically by the tool. You can go a little bit more further with it, especially if you're running with the UI, because of course it's not possible with a headless version, but you can also record the video of the test, and it's optional. You can specify to Katalon, well, I want to record the video and keep the video in all cases, or just want to keep the video if the test failed or if the test passed. It's up to you, and it's in the configuration. On my environment here, which is my personal machine, I haven't done the Git integration, but here I would be able to go on Git and just push my code as regular user. Let's have a look at the report. We executed the test, a report was generated. You have a nice timestamp about it. It's also possible for Katalon to send you an email or to send something on Slack saying, well, the test has succeeded and this is the test report attached to it. So I just open the test report, and then it tells me, well, okay, you see this test took 12 seconds to be executed. It passed, and then I can go here and check all the steps for that. And remember when I was talking about the fact that if there is a failure, there would be a screen cap here. That's where you will find into this column where you see, well, there's an attachment. I will see something here saying, well, it failed, and I can click on it, and then I will see the object. Okay, so it was a quick introduction. I hope that you loved it, and into the next video we're going to see how it works on the House of Tests website. I wish you a very nice day, and hopefully you will enjoy also the next video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.